And we are live once again, NASCAR 05 on the channel. Truck Series racing at the Texas Motor Speedway for the O'Reilly 400K. That's right, 400 kilometers. We are set, though, for action tonight. 250 miles of racing, 167 laps at the Texas Motor Speedway. As mentioned, like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We do full race live streams with a realistic broadcast, both for NASCAR video games and now real-life NASCAR races with the simulcast, I guess. Well, not a simulcast, more of a reaction. But anyway, regardless of the fact we've been doing that every week, last 3 weeks with the Cup Series, we'll be doing that again next week, but with the Xfinity Series, I'm going to go to my grandparents to watch the Cup race that day. So take the Cup race off, we'll be doing some Xfinity action on the channel later next week. NASCAR Heat 5 will be making a return soon. For those of you that might have missed the announcement during the career mode live stream last night, we'll be doing more than just finishing the career mode. We will bring it back one more season of that. I'm not sure if I'm going to start that this week or next week. Probably leaning on next week, but you never know. Things could change. We're going to get into this race here today. It is the 7th race of 25 on the season, and this should be a good one. No practice or qualifying, at least for our driver, Carl Edwards, for the start of the race today. So we're going to have to see how that will go on by as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Johnson's on the pole. He's one of the fantasy drivers. Bobby Hamilton Sr. will be starting outside pole in second. He has one win on the year. Edwards our self-driving as Carl Edwards has one win. We have had 5 winners in the first 6 races of the season, and the only driver to win twice is Travis Quaffle, who won back-to-back coming into this race, winning at both Lowe's Motor Speedway and Dover. So we're going to see what we've got for this one. Christian Games, welcome to the stream. Green flag in the air. We're underway at Texas. No practice or qualifying, much like in the Busch race at the same racetrack. We're going to have to wait and see what this is going to bring. Edwards quickly just kind of backing out of the gas, going to try to get a feel for his race truck early on. Of course, this is shorter than the Busch race that we ran earlier last week. Different meaning, obviously, with not only Busch Car to Truck Series difference, but we saw a lot of cautions in that Busch Series race. Edwards knew that. He dropped to the back early on after starting back here. Not going to really waste time, just taking control of the race truck, really feeling it out before we get going. And look at Brandon Witt already trying to charge to the lead on Johnson in the opening couple laps of the race. A little slide getting into turn 3 for Edwards. They're checking up off turn 4 as they're side by side a little bit through the traffic, nearly 3 wide in the middle to the back of the pack. There was a couple stack-ups in the Busch Series race off turn 4 especially, even off turn 2 a couple times as well. Edwards trying to take everything learned from that Busch race that Harvick was in into consideration here. We had 10 cautions in that Busch Series race. That was only 200 laps. So what will we have here today? Ashton G, welcome to the stream as well. Keeping an eye on the uploading process as well of my post-race analysis video. Oh boy, a little contact with the 119. He was running way off the wall down the backstretch. Time to side draft the 99 of Edwards and made a little bit of contact. Nothing too major. There's a little bit off turn 4 as well. Contact in the wall, and we nearly had a wreck a couple times. Troy Perry got squeezed into the wall. He was our winner at Daytona in the season opener, running at the back early on today. At the start, Edwards wanted. We nearly had that caution. He's trying to be patient early on, getting loose off turn 2, then loose off turn 4 on that last lap. Not costing him a ton here early on. 191 truck, by the way, is in the lead, another fantasy driver. So outside of Brandon Witt, who we saw peek up at the front, I don't even know if he led a lap or not. Running right where he's at. Kyle Larson did dominate that race today. Indeed. For those of you that might have missed the live stream or are wondering my thoughts on the race, I'm going to be kind of silent about it during this race here tonight with this live stream. And just wait for that post-race analysis video to come out. It will be out by the end of the night. Again, it is uploaded. It's at 56% as far as how much it is uploaded. Oh, tough break for Brandon Witt in the 38. He was running in the top 5 early on after qualifying very well, and he has just blown an engine on lap 7 down the back straightaway. He went to the bottom of the racetrack. What a tough break for Brandon Witt. He has probably been the closest driver that does not have a win yet this year to getting a win. He had the fastest truck at Daytona, led over half the race there. That was his best opportunity. And he's had a couple other top 5 runs since then, but none close enough to really have a strong run at the finish and be there late. Boy, that 106 of Richards got tight. Almost squeezed into the truck to his outside. Edwards took it 3 wide to the bottom, and multiple trucks in the wall off turn 4 as they were still 3 wide on back. Richards, we mentioned he got tight. He got even tighter on the exit of the corner and squeezed the truck to his outside into the wall. But we stay green. The 191 not pulling away at the front of this pack right now. We saw a lot of great battling at the front of the field despite the cautions in the Busch Series race at Texas. Maybe we'll see a lot of the same here today in the Truck Series race. 3 wide through 3 and 4 again. This 164 truck got tight, much like Richards did the last lap. And again in the wall, the 116 truck squeezes the driver to his outside in the wall off turn 4. We've seen some stack-ups there in the Busch race again. Nearly a couple of them already today in the first 10 laps of the truck race. Trevor Grimes, welcome to the stream. 228 away from 1K. Indeed, we're getting closer. Every day. We gained another sub earlier. And every day we're gaining something. Somebody got loose. Edwards just goes right to the bottom, though. Underneath Bill Lester. Lester's been unstoppable, it seems like, on these mile-and-a-halfs this year. He blew an engine at Lowe's Motor Speedway earlier this season, costing him not only the points lead, but it was just a tough break for Lester. Knowing he had such a strong run at the beginning of the year, he's still running towards the front of the point standings right now. I was expecting him to be competitive today. Lowe's Motor Speedway had a fast truck until he blew an engine, led a lot of laps, and he won at Atlanta in the first mile-and-a-half race this season. That was Lester's only win so far this year. But Lester outside the top 15. He continues to fade. Edwards is continuing to go through this pack of trucks. He is bad, fast from the get-go. I did tighten this truck up despite no practice or qualifying. I put 2 rounds of wedge in. It was at 0. It's at 2.0 going into this race, and the reason why is because in the Busch race we were mad loose at the beginning of the race, so I had a bad feeling with no practice for this race as well. It was going to be a lot of the same. So I compensated for it early. 3 wide and 3 and 4. Edwards has taken it 3 wide into 3 and 4 every time. He's actually made it work. Oh, and truck's in the wall again to his outside off turn 4 behind him. Luckily, Edwards is clearing these guys. Otherwise, there might be a big mess on the front stretch. That's about the 3rd time we saw something. Drives it hard into turn 1. You can see the rear tires sliding out just a little bit there as well. Shooting to the inside of the 152 truck. Edwards is into the top 10 after starting last in 36 without practice or qualifying. What a run for Edwards early. And he's only 1 second off the race lead. Patrick Shadley, welcome to the stream. Oh, gosh. Oh, I was looking at the chat. I thought we were going to wreck going into turn 3. First time Edwards has had to stick the outside of the corner. The 171 squeezes him into the wall. Ace Johnson, who started on the pole, outside the top 10 right now. Edwards has to find his way to the bottom. That all started when Edwards lost the bottom of the track after I was looking at the chat a little too long. And once Edwards had the outside, then the 171 truck got really tight trying to make that pass off turn 4. Kind of like what we saw Mark Martin do in the Busch race last week a couple times when he was trying to make passes in 3 and 4. So it's getting super tight. 212. Oh, yeah, 212, not 228. You're right. I just saw your chat. You're right, though. We were at 788 going into the stream. Really close to 800. I thought by the end of today we were going to get there from last week, and we started off the pace, but we've only gotten, I think, like 2 subscribers in the last, like, 3 days combined, so it really slowed going into the weekend. Mark Handel in the 107 truck has been trying to block Edwards. Edwards gets the run off turn 2 back to the inside. He's passed Handel once. He's going to have to pass him again. Handel squeezes him down the track. Now Edwards did overdrive it a little bit, but Handel did not really do his part very well. So there was a little contact. So Edwards flew through the first 10 laps to get to where he was at inside the top 10, and he's kind of stalled out in the last handful. Again, I will have to pause it at some point in time to make sure I get a thumbnail before my post-race analysis video uploads. It's at 80% right now, so I'm probably going to end up... I do have the thumbnail ready, I just got to insert it. I did not get a chance to do it before I went live. Well, Travis Kvapil, 5 bonus points for him if he can lead to the line this time. He has just taken the lead off turn 2. Kvapil, we mentioned, has won the last 2 races, including one of them on 1.5 miles at Lowe's Motor Speedway. And then in the last race, he was able to win at Dover as well. What a season Kvapil has had. He lost the points lead just a few races ago, only to maybe take it back. He's only 10 points behind Edwards coming into this race. And can he make it 3 wins in a row? What a season Kvapil has had. And although Edwards was closing in on the lead for a while, he's not only kind of stalled out a little bit, but maybe Kvapil's going to be the guy to beat again. He just all around had the fastest truck at Lowe's Motor Speedway. And then at Dover, Edwards caught him late, only to be taken out by a lap car. Luckily, Edwards was able to finish second still. Carl comes into this race with a massive top 10 streak on the line. He's finished in the top 10 in the last 5 races, which means he's finished in the top 10 all but the season opener at Daytona, where he finished 30th. And finished a lap down that day as well after losing the draft after the last restart, unfortunately, despite the fact he was in the top 10 a lot early. That's why he's only got a 10-point lead. That Kvapil has had a great season himself, though he has 1 DNF to show for, 2 wins, 1 more than Edwards. Car looking low underneath the 171 we made contact with earlier. And the 171's pinching Edwards down in 3 and 4, but then he got tight. Sorry, it's the 177, not the 171. Sliding up in front of him and out to the inside of Matt Craftsman as well for 8th place. Edwards gets a run down the front stretch, still clears the 6 of Craftsman going into turn 1. Give it a couple more laps, and then I'll pause it at lap 25. So next lap down the backstretch, I'll pause it. So I can get that up, that thumbnail on the post-race analysis video before it uploads. Boy, Edwards passed 2 trucks in turns 3 and 4. He's still hauling 25 laps to go from last to 6th right now, and Edwards is still moving his way through the pack. He's got the 64 of Ryan Carter right in front of him. Down the backstretch. And I'll pause it for just a quick second. Again, I know I don't like pausing it myself. I know I usually don't, but make sure I get the thumbnail. There we go. See? Wasn't long. Not too bad. Had to pause it on a straightaway, though. So we didn't have major issues getting into a corner. Or getting off a corner, depending on where I paused it. Ryan Carter holding up a fight right now for that 5th position on the racetrack. Edwards still a second off the lead. He's got a big run in 1 and 2, but Carter's hitting his marks right now. And Edwards can't really get underneath him. Didn't get a great drive off turn 2. Not great enough to get around Carter, at least. So So he sits behind him down the backstretch into turn 3. Edwards has to be careful his truck doesn't get too tight riding in line behind Carter. Now he makes the move. Deep dive to the inside off turn 4. Boy, they got close. Edwards tight into turns 1 and 2. Not necessarily that the truck is tight, but the 64 of Carter's holding him tight. Edwards still clears him off turn 2. Great corner. Great set of corners for Edwards to get around corner because it took both turns 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 to get around him. Jason Powell on the 191, who has led laps early on, is in 4th. Bobby Hamilton Sr. on the move early, up to 3rd now, looking for 2nd. And Travis Quaffle continues the lead at lap 28. Five people watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in here on a Sunday night. And usually we do these live streams with the video games on Cup Series race day beforehand. It's usually the Cup race, but because the next Cup race is 500 miles, I was not going to be able to do that today on the race day, especially doing it after the race. And the race being a West Coast race, it started even later than the later start times usually do, so all things considered, here we are running a truck race, but we have had a lot of great action with the Truck Series this season. All 3 series, but the Truck Series probably been the most competitive from top to bottom, it seems like. Again, 5 different winners in the first 6 races. Powell holding the block on Edwards off turn 4, so Carl could not get under him right there. Deep dive into turn 1 for Edwards. Just gets to the inside of Powell. And clear off turn 2. Edwards to 4th. Lap 30. Waffle's not pulling away since getting to the lead. Tires are slowly starting to wear out here on Edwards' race truck. Sure, he used quite a bit of them up trying to get through the pack of trucks like he did. Starting to give up a little bit more bottom than what he wants to, but the car is kind of drifting up the track. He might have to start backing out of the corners a little bit earlier. The longer and longer this run goes. Post-race analysis video has just uploaded, by the way. Tune into that at any point, but we got some good racing early on here today at Texas. I wouldn't go anywhere. Top 5 kind of pulling away from the rest of the field, really separating themselves on speed. Hamilton swings a little wide, so did Edwards. Can't tell who's in second place right now. Edwards trying to get to the inside of Bobby Hamilton. A little contact as he got right on the left rear of Hamilton. Hamilton barely keeps it off the wall, goes wide. He falls back to 4th. Edwards up to 3rd. Aaron McGee is in second place in the 163 truck. Edwards slides into the wall off 4. He barely tagged it with the right rear. Good thing he didn't overcorrect it and slap the right front into the wall as well. It was a pretty light hit for the most part. And again, these tires are getting older. And it's making Edwards' job a little bit tougher. 250-mile race, though. This is actually the longest race as far as mileage goes since the season opener at Daytona. The last 2.5-mile racetracks, and the only 2 we've had so far this season, were both 200-mile races at Atlanta and Lowe's Motor Speedway at Charlotte. Halfway on fuel at lap 35. It is going to be really close to being a 1 or a 2-stop race today, but we're likely looking at 2 pit stops. Even if Edwards can make it to lap 70, which will probably be about it. Lap 69, lap 70 is looking like what he can go on fuel. I don't believe Edwards is going to make it on 2 stops. That would probably get him to about lap 140. So it is going to be a 2-stop race today at Texas. At least, again, there is a tire limit for fresh sets. So that come into play at the end of the Texas race. It probably costed Harvick a chance to win with being on older tires, on top of the fact that he got turned by not 1 but 2 drivers in that race as well. Billy Parker and Greg Biffle. A little wide off turn 4 again there for Edwards. He's digging right now, but he almost slid into the wall again. Despite McGee putting a lot of pressure on Quaffle, he's hitting his marks right now. Bobby Hamilton Jr. after sliding wide with very little contact with Edwards. But because it was on his left rear and it was going into a corner, it made that race truck light. Bobby Hamilton Sr. still in 4th, but he's not keeping up with the top 3 like he was, and he's trying to battle with the 191 truck right now for that 4th spot. So there are a couple truck lengths within one another. Honestly, between the top 3, it's really inconsistent as far as who's faster. It's tough to tell right now. One lap Edwards is faster, one lap McGee's faster, and another lap Quaffle seems to be faster. Quaffle's got the clean air, so he's probably going to be the toughest to pass. Until we get to lap traffic, which still got a ways until lap traffic is going to be any sort of a factor. It'll be lap 40 this time. Quaffle's led the most early. Oh, McGee goes way too wide in turns 3 and 4. He gives up so much of the bottom. Edwards didn't really get through the corner that well, but so much better than McGee. Edwards got a little tight, though, and had to lift at the last second. It looked like he was going to be able to stay under McGee for a little bit. He backed up turn 1 well, though, and gets back to the inside in the center of turns 1 and 2. Doesn't get tight that time on the old tires. It's going to be a hard drive going into turn 3. McGee trying to pinch Edwards down. Edwards slides into the corner and slides up the track in front of McGee. And up to second place, a race high for Carl Edwards. 40 laps in the books. McGee just about bounced off the wall off turn 4. Quaffle's got about a 2-truck length lead going into turn 1 this lap. Edwards slid the tires a little bit. Trying to find any sort of grip he can. And he does not want Quaffle to get the most laps led. Quaffle again only comes into this race 10 points behind Edwards. Edwards has not led a lap yet. Edwards trying to at least get 1 lap led so he can get 5 bonus points, and he is all over the back bumper of Quaffle at the line on lap 42 going into turn 1. Edwards to the inside of Quaffle, drives it in hard. Quaffle pinches him down. Edwards did everything he could have and more right there, and he just couldn't get around him. It was a great corner by Quaffle. Edwards had a run too, and now he's going to have to try to get that run back again. Edwards kept good control of his truck too, even as hard as he drove it into turn 1. He's got another run. He gets off of turn 4 a lot better than Quaffle. He's not close enough to make the move this time though. Definitely a lot closer than the lap before. Quaffle is right there. Into turn 3. Edwards gets a little tight. Edwards looks low. Almost in the wall. Man, he's sliding everywhere. He did not get off turn 4 well at all that time compared to the last couple laps. And Quaffle easily pulls away from Edwards. Battle for second again if McGee can keep up with Edwards this time. 24 truck out in the lead, just bottomed out that time. Going into the corner. And all that momentum that Edwards lost a lap ago, he's going to have to try to gain it back and just keep narrowly chipping away. Might have to let it all on the line with this pit crew if he can't get around Quaffle under green. On the long run, at least. Maybe hope for a faster stop. Maybe pit just a couple laps before Quaffle. Could be the difference maker. Still no caution to this point. We had 5 at Dover in the last race, and we only had 1 in the last mile and a half at Lowe's Motor Speedway, and it was on lap 2 of that race. The other mile and a half at Atlanta, we had 4 cautions this season. Edwards just trying to reel himself in. Edwards trying to back up 1 and 2 a little bit. And he did pretty well that time. He got off turn 2 a lot better than Quaffle as he closes the gap again. Quaffle's going to try to hang on to lead as many laps as possible. And he doesn't want the points leader to get 5 bonus points if he can help it today. Edwards is so close. Just gets underneath. Quaffle slides up behind him. Edwards was in the gas the entire time. And I mean, he barely got loose. So really, you can't even really call it loose. But he did slide up just a tad bit and had to go back in line behind him again. Travis Quaffle's so hard to pass right now. Again, Edwards is being patient. Well, he's not being really, really patient, but he is being somewhat patient. I mean, he's doing about everything he can, though. It is a 2-truck race now, though. Oh, Edwards. A little out of shape getting into turn 3. This is another truck length and a half, maybe. He's trying to pull Quaffle back. He didn't get into 3 well, but he got off 4 pretty decent. And he's got to run down the front stretch. He's all over the back of the 24. Maybe looking for the lead into turn 1. Quaffle pinches him down the racetrack. Edwards goes wide into the corner. And look at how wide the 24 truck of Quaffle got as well. Quaffle almost ended up in the wall, too. That was a heck of a block there by Travis, despite the run by Edwards. Carl with another run off turn 4. What is it going to take to get around Travis Quaffle? Travis trying to do whatever he can. Blocking. Trying to hold the same line Edwards is. Oh, Edwards in the wall off turn 2. That's going to hurt him. Drops another 2 truck lengths roughly back off the lead again. These race trucks are on their edge, especially this late in the run. Over 50 laps of green flag action to start the race and no pit stops yet. Great race so far and a great battle for the lead going on midway through this one. Still just over 100 to go, though. Quaffle's still trying to lead. He has led over 30 laps now. Edwards looking low. Quaffle's hit his marks. That's the problem. The one time he didn't hit his marks, Edwards didn't either. Edwards is loose off 4 again. Stays in the gas. Drives out of it that time. But still loses ground. You might just have to wait for Quaffle to make a mistake to try and make the move. It's got to be so frustrating for Edwards that he's running this close behind Quaffle for about a dozen laps now, and he just can't get around him. And it's really hard to tell who's faster, because again, some laps it's Quaffle. I know he's got the clean air, and that's going to help, but then some laps, I mean, you can really tell Quaffle's faster. Maybe more stable, that could be a big factor as well. Edwards just cannot get around him. Might have to wait till lap traffic or green flag stop, something here. What he's doing just isn't working. Looks low. Into 3. Now goes high to arc the corner off into turns 3 and 4. Just gets underneath of Quaffle. There's a little bit of contact. That right front went into the red right as Edwards got to the inside of Quaffle, and that forced Edwards to get a little tight. He already drove it in deep as it was. That slight bit of contact is enough to hold on to the lead here for Travis Quaffle. We got a slow truck who's down on horsepower right in front of the leaders, holding them both up. Edwards is really tight right now. He's trying to hang on to the race truck. He slides. He was trying to do everything he could to not slide into the side of the 24 Quaffle. He didn't. Here comes McGee again. It's the 86 truck who's very slow. He might have blown an engine earlier in the race and came back out on the track. He is so far off the pace, and Edwards is going to get to the lead because of it. Though while getting to the lead, the 163 truck of McGee is in it as well, but Edwards cannot hold the bottom. Again, that right front is in the red. Edwards is slightly in the wall. Should say right front tire. McGee's trying to take the lead again. Edwards again slaps the wall, and McGee takes the lead into turn 1. Edwards got 5 bonus points for leading 1 lap, and then loses the lead to the guy who was in third just 2 laps ago. Travis Quaffle lost so much ground. And McGee coming into the pits. Edwards back out in front again. Green flag pit stop started a lap ago, by the way. Lap 60 right now. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Yeah, quickest ever for anybody to win in Hendrick Motorsports equipment. 4 races for Larson. A lot of great names have driven for Hendrick Motorsports. Terry Labonte, Jeff Bodine, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Casey Kane, Dale Jr., Chase Elliott, just to name a few. Edwards is definitely leading more and more laps. The majority of the field has come into the pits. Quaffle's already hit pit road. Oh, man, that lap truck got really loose off of turn 2, trying to get up to speed. I thought it was going to wash up right in front of the race leader, Edwards. That would have been terrible. I think Carl's just trying to lead as many laps as he can right now. That's why he's staying out. You never know, we might get a caution as well. There's going to be another stop today, so I guess it doesn't matter exactly when you pit this first time, though. He is likely going to lose the lead because of staying out. Man, he just could not get to the bottom at all that time in 3 and 4. We are nearing 100 laps to go already here tonight at Texas. Very fast race pace. Can probably go a few more laps on fuel, but he's going to pit this next time by as he slides off 4 again on these older tires. So lap 65. He is the final driver to have to hit pit road, and he'll pit right now. And it will be the first of at least 2 pit stops today. I'll have to wait and see exactly how far back Edwards is going to fall off pit road, trying to save as much time as possible. Great job. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. No adjustments here for Carl Edwards and this team under the first stop. Travis Quaffle trying to go for 3 wins in a row. And he's the only driver to win 2. Yeah, Mark Martin's another good one. Yeah, I forgot the name Martin. There go the leaders. McGee actually cycled as the race leader. Looked like Bobby Hamilton Sr. gained a lot of time. He wasn't anywhere close to the lead earlier. And And Edwards staying out about 5 to 6 laps longer. I mean, that killed him. It's about 2.3 off the lead now from McGee, who leads this, and then Quaffle just close behind in second. Travis lost a lot of time before the pit stop, so I think he pitted maybe a couple laps before McGee even, but at least a lap or two. And Quaffle lost so much time behind that lap car, lost the lead on the track before the stops even started. Fell back to third. Bobby Hamilton Sr. started to close in. He's had some fast trucks this year. He's got one win. 100 laps to go, that time at the line here at Texas. Man, they're battling hard for the lead. There's a slow lap truck again right in front of the leaders. And now Edwards is less than a second off the lead because of it. He has to go all the way down low, way to the inside, hooking that white line. The 86 truck is way off the pace. After an engine issue earlier, he made his way back on the track, just trying to gain as many spots as he can if we get more DNFs. Bobby Hamilton Sr. is now right behind the battle for the lead, which was intense before the lap truck. Now it's even more intense, and Edwards is only 0.8 of a second off the lead now because of the 86 truck holding back the top three. Quaffle's so fast, and he's been trying to get around McGee here for a couple laps. Edwards goes wide off turn 2, in the wall, now into 3. He's in the wall again. And Quaffle finally gets to the inside in 3 and 4. He is all clear off turn 4, and Carl Edwards closed about as much as he could, but now Quaffle is out in front. It's going to make it tough. Bobby Hamilton Sr. is on the move, though. He gets to the inside of McGee for second place. Could see some guys short pit as soon as that window opens as well. Definitely not impossible. Ooh, Hamilton to the inside. Bobby Hamilton Sr. and his crew has made adjustments under that first stop of the race. He was in the top 5 before that. Kind of faded as the run carried on, but now Bobby Hamilton Sr. leads his first lap of the race as he passes the 24 truck of Quaffle getting into turn 1. McGee to the inside of Quaffle for second. Edwards all the way to the bottom trying to go 3 wide. McGee throws the block there. Is he going to stay to the inside of Quaffle? Yes, he is. Edwards still looks low. They're 3 wide for second place through turns 3 and 4. Are they going to make it off turn 4? It's going to get tight. They made it. Edwards clear. What a pass. Edwards from 4th to 2nd in turns 3 and 4. McGee merges to 3rd, and Quaffle back to 4th after leading just 2 laps ago. Bobby Hamilton Sr. was out in front, still is. He's got a hard-charging 99 truck of Carl Edwards right behind him. Whoa, a little out of shape there for Edwards. Oh, man. Both the 4 and the 99 barely kept it off the wall off turn 4. No problem for stepping away there, Trevor, but thanks for tuning back in. Another lap truck coming up very soon in front of Bobby Hamilton Sr. How is Edwards going to get around him? You saw how tough it was for Edwards. It took to the lap trucks to get around Travis Quaffle a little earlier. Edwards trying to get a run. He's trying to shake Bobby Hamilton into turn 1. Hamilton just took his line away. Drove it in a little deeper into turn 1 than what Edwards did. Held the bottom. 137 truck on the outside. Top 2 going to get around him easily in turns 1 and 2. Edwards has only led less than 10 laps a day. He only led... Oh, man, he was about to go on the grass! I mean, barely kisses the wall off turn 4. He was about to be in the grass on the front stretch the way he exited that corner, and he had to brake. And now Quaffle's all over behind him with a run, and he's trying to get around him for second. Gonna block Quaffle off into turns 3 and 4. He's over a second behind Bobby Hamilton Sr. now. Quaffle almost in the wall off 4, running a little too wide. 90 laps to go now in Texas. Slow truck in the 86 on the outside. Oh, Edwards going all the way up top to miss him. Down to the bottom. Oh, that 86 truck just held up the 24 so much. Really held up Bobby Hamilton Sr., who had a 1 second lead. It's down to about 2 truck lengths into turn 1 now. Quaffle finally got around. He's over a second behind the lead. Top 2 going at it once again. It'll be lap 80 this time. How is he going to get underneath the Ford truck? This is much like when he was trying to pass Quaffle earlier off turn 4. This is tight contact. Hamilton in the wall. Edwards to the lead. There was just no room. Bobby Hamilton Sr. tried to pinch Edwards down off turn 4. Edwards had to run wide or he wasn't going to make it through the tri-oval. He was going to end up in the grass and probably wrecking himself. And he had to just hold his line, and Hamilton just kept coming down right into him. And Hamilton falls all the way back to 4th. And now Edwards leads with Quaffle on the attack. There's nothing Edwards really could have done much different. He could have completely got out of the gas and let him go. Don't want to see a caution in a race that's been this good and caution-free. You want to stay green and just let these guys settle it between themselves that are up in the top 4 and competing right now. Edwards going to try to hold on to the lead on Quaffle. I'd say Hamilton was a lot more aggressive in trying to hold on than what Quaffle was. They didn't even battle for nearly as long as Edwards and Quaffle during the first tire stint. Too wide into turns 1 and 2. I thought Quaffle was going to get underneath Edwards, but he just couldn't quite do it. Into turn 3. Now Quaffle goes wide. Ooh, that truck got tight. Quaffle's did. You can see the front just washing up the track. Wiggling just a little bit. Kept it off the wall, though. Edwards been going wide in 1 and 2. Quaffle's been going wide in 3 and 4. I'd probably say unintentionally for both. Travis, another run to the inside into 3. He drove it in really deep, but Edwards hits his marks on entry and exit to hold on. But to say Travis Quaffle isn't a hard charger right now in this battle. Hang on, I don't think the stream's over yet. We might be back up and running again. Yay! Okay, there we go. How about that? Streaming this late at night can cause some internet issue. No, it wasn't the internet. I forgot to plug my laptop in. My laptop died because my TV screen went black too. So I completely lost connection. I didn't lose connection to the stream, but I lost like internet connection with my laptop going low on battery like it did. So that's why the stream paused, and it did not end because my laptop didn't shut off. So that's why the stream never ended. So, yeah, a little technical difficulties there. But we keep the stream rolling. Problem is, I'm in the middle of a corner when I deposited in the black. So hopefully I entered correctly. Wow, I'm surprised I didn't mess that corner up. We're not out of it yet. Alright, there we go. Actually pulled Quaffle off turn 4 somehow. Lap 86, but we are back at it again. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties there. But we are still running. And good thing is, we didn't have to stop the stream to do it. Battle for the lead continues between Carl Edwards, who's running P1, P2, Travis Quaffle. Edwards has about 8 lap fresher tires, but not really going to matter at this point in the run. Edwards a little loose there getting into turn 1. Saw how badly his truck was handling at the end of the last tire stand. Might be splitting this run in half to the end of the race. We are caution free up to this point. We've not had a caution-free truck race. We have had a caution-free Busch Series race at Darlington. With this game, and the 86 truck is very slow, staying high, and that's going to hold Travis Quaffle up, who got stuck on the outside. That is the third time that Quaffle has gotten hung up behind the 86 truck, who was running well off the pace in this one after coming back on the track from blowing an engine early. Could be making moves. Side-by-side lap traffic right in front of Edwards. Nowhere for him to go, though. He does have about 0.8 of a second lead over Quaffle. And he's trying to get these lap cars to go. Oh, the 119 pulled down right in front of him. Should say right into the side of him. The way that went down. He does get around him, but he lost about 0.2 of a second of his lead. Oh, Edwards is struggling. He is struggling mightily in lap traffic, and Quaffle might be able to close that gap again. Kenny Hall in the 135 truck is the next truck that Edwards is trying to pass. Edwards gets off turn 2 well. On the inside of him. Now he's got Lee Anderson right in front of him. Anderson trying not to go lap down into turn 3. Still 0.6 of a second lead for Edwards. Carl overdrives 3 and 4 a little bit as he's trying desperately to get around Anderson. Anderson is blocking him. Lee Anderson does not want to go lap down, and maybe we can get that first caution of the day, and he'll hold on to his lap. Edwards down low, getting pinched off heavily. Look at how much ground he lost. Not only the lap car, but look at how much ground Quaffle was able to gain. Off turn 4, Quaffle is all of a sudden all over the back of Edwards. Carl did everything he could to get around Lee Anderson. Anderson really just pinched him off. Anderson continues to block. It's like Dover all over again. Only Edwards hasn't wrecked yet. And that was a big mistake. He's still wobbling up the track. And Travis Quaffle back to the lead. Lee Anderson, without contact, and pretty much the other lap trucks as well, have just cost Edwards a chance at the lead. But now, Quaffle got stuck behind Anderson. He does get underneath him finally. Barely. Edwards trying to charge. He gets by Anderson, but can't get to the inside of Quaffle. 24 truck back out in the lead again, and look who is charging back to the front. Bobby Hamilton Sr. out of nowhere has joined the battle for the lead in third, as he has just gotten around Anderson down the front stretch and is only a couple truck lengths behind Edwards. Edwards to the inside of Quaffle for the lead off turn 2. Into 3 and 4. Edwards hits his marks on the bottom. Quaffle trying to side draft that right rear corner panel, couldn't do it. Edwards clear off turn 4, and Carl back out in front again. And as these two go back and forth, Bobby Hamilton Sr. has made it a 3-truck race and a 3-truck battle for the lead as Edwards slides into one, holding on to it. Still 70 laps to go. 72 laps to be exact. And one more pit stop still to come as well. Great racing action as NASCAR 05 has really brought to the table since we started this playthrough for all 3 series a few weeks ago. Seems like that 24 truck of Quaff is starting to get tight off the exit of the corner a little bit more often, and that's why it allowed Edwards to get underneath. And now the 86 truck is slow, right in front of the leaders again. Side-by-side lap traffic as well did not help. Quaffle stuck on the top. Hamilton to second. Quaffle back to third. Big run by Edwards in the 99. Look at the 117 running him all the way down to the inside. Edwards is sideways getting into turn 3. And look at Hamilton with a run to the outside. Edwards up the block in the center of the corner. Slides up the track. Crossover by Hamilton at the bottom. Edwards going to block that off as well as the 117 truck of Wesley Schmidt. Ran Edwards so far down, no contact. That almost gave Hamilton the lead on the outside. Quaffle to the inside for second place on Bobby Hamilton Sr. There's not one but 2 lap trucks right in front of the race leader of Carl Edwards. Lap 100 at the line. 68 to go. Edwards just trying to get around. He slides too much into 1 and 2. He couldn't get underneath the 117. Now in the center of the corner, he does get underneath Wesley Schmidt. 129 or 123 rather of Adam Bell trying to block. Edwards to the inside off turn 4. Oh, Bell ran right into him. Edwards gets her. Oh, Bell's in the wall getting into turn 1 now. And that just stacked up Quaffle and Hamilton. Once Bell got into the wall right in front of him. And that allows Edwards now to get out to about 1/8 of a second lead. 68 laps to go this time by. Sorry, all the way around. 66 to go this time by. So Carl Edwards out in front. Quaffle trying to run him down again. Lap traffic has just not been easy as usual with these EA Sports NASCAR games, but this is getting up there. One of the hardest lap traffic kind of races I guess we've seen, especially on a 1.5 miles. Usually not as bad on the intermediates, but they are here today. Kevin Coyne in the 105 is the next driver to perhaps go a lap down. Edwards closes in on him off turn 4. Edwards still about a 7/10 of a second lead into turn 1 this lap. And he gets underneath Kevin. Well, he was going to. Quinn pulled down right in front of him. Edwards had to lift a little extra, but he still gets underneath him. Just a lot faster truck with that Roush engine underneath the hood. Clears him into turns 3 and 4. So about an 1/8 of a second lead here for Carl Edwards. As far as the pit strategy goes, I think he's going to have to pit whenever he sees Quaffle or Bobby Hamilton Sr. come into pit road and not give up as much time like he did during the last run and have to play catch-up again. By the way, the pit window to make it to the end of the race on fuel is open, as some drivers just came down for their final stop of the race that last lap. The lap truck right behind Edwards. Waffles 9/10 of a second off the lead. Biggest lead Edwards has had today is what we're seeing right now. Mark Handel in the 107. Pulls down in front of him. Into turn 3. Boy, Edwards is close to getting around. He almost slid into the 153 truck to his outside. Edwards got really loose off 4, but he did clear him. Luckily. 86 truck who's very slow off turn 2. Might be in the way. Edwards looks low underneath Handel. He's trying to get under him as well. 3 wide. He's got the inside underneath Handel into turn 3. Slight bit of contact, but nothing major. Quaffle held up behind the 86 some more, leaving Edwards to about a 1-second race lead. 60 laps to go at the line for Carl Edwards. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would help with these fantasy drivers, too, if we had a race ticker. Oh, boy, Edwards sliding a little wide there. 59 to go. Fastest lap of the race is a 29.1. For the Truck Series at Texas, that is unbelievably fast. That last lap, though, as the run carries on, a little bit slower. The 29.268 for Edwards. This lap of the line, 29.163. So, about a 1/10 to 2/10 of a second, almost 3/10 of a second off at this point in the run. Yes, okay, welcome to the stream. 56 truck right in front of Edwards. Edwards trying to get around him, and again, another lab truck who is blocking the heck out of Edwards. It's Scott Bush in the 56, by the way. Edwards to the inside. Oh, man, they almost made contact in the center of the quad oval. And he could not get around him. Now he overdrives 1 and 2. Quaffle gained 2/10 of a second. Off of turn 4 and all the way through 1 and 2 alone. Edwards again gets underneath him going into turn 3. And he clears Bush. Carl trying to match Quaffle with wins this season and obviously trying to hang on to the points lead as well, which you might need to do by simply winning. If Quaffle wins this race, he's led the most laps up to this point. If he can clinch the most laps led and win this race, then Quaffle will take the points lead away from Edwards. Again, we're only 7 races into the season after this one, so still early in the year, but this is a short season. Only 25 races for the Truck Series. So after this one, we only got 17 to go. We got a lot of fantasy tracks to go to. And a weird part of the schedule will be coming up, starting with the next race when we go to Dodge Raceway. 3/8 mile short track. Saw a crazy finish in the modified series there last week. Waffles close the gap to about a half a second off the lead. He's trying to get around Scott Bush right now. Oh, Edwards way too wide in 3 and 4. Waffle gets to the inside of Bush. Travis gained about 2/10 of a second that last lap on Edwards with the Carl making the slight mistake in turns 3 and 4. Well, made another mistake in 1 and 2. He slides the tires a little too much on corner entry. Runs a little bit off the bottom, maybe a lane. And just like that, after 2 slight, and I mean slight mistakes, Travis Quaffle is here for the taking. Perhaps. Bob Spear in the 152 truck is the next lap truck ahead of Edwards. These guys are closing in on the 86 up here. Down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4. 86. Oh, Edwards goes wide in the wall. He almost got in the back of the 152 who checked up for the 86. Quaffle skims all the way by the inside. Gets by all three. That was a major mistake there into the wall there for Carl Edwards. And he loses the lead. And then some. Still in second. Now he's got to run Quaffle back down. Again, the 152, he put the brakes on heavy into turn 3, knowing the slow lap truck of the 86 was about to get in the way, and Edwards went wide into the wall, trying not to run into the back of the 152 and cause that first caution of the race. Jonathan Rogers, welcome to the stream. Edwards looks low. Can't quite get underneath Quaffle that time. Some of the leaders are hitting pit road this time. Bobby Hamilton's really fell off the face of the earth. I don't know if he might have pitted already or what it was, but he cycles through as a leader. It's because he already pitted. He's nowhere near these top two. He was about 20 laps ago. Two-truck show between Travis Quaffle and Carl Edwards. Really, this is about what we've seen in the last 3 races. 4 if you want to include this one. Where Edwards got the win at Red Bull, and then the next 2 races, Quaffle got both wins at Dover and Lowe's Motor Speedway. A couple trucks might have gotten together 1 and 2. There's a little bit of smoke there. Nothing too hard to see through, and we do stay green. Again, no cautions in this race. Might have our first caution-free truck race on NASCAR 05 on the channel. We had our first caution-free Busch race at Darlington last week. Off of 4, looking low. Oh, Quaffle tried to block, and he about sent Edwards into the grass. He was not clear with that block off turn 4. Contact was made, and that stalled both trucks out, but it stalled Edwards out more than it stalled Quaffle. How about Larson? Indeed, what a show, leading 103 laps and winning that race today. He earned it. He had the fastest car. Quaffle on to pit road. Edwards to the lead. Edwards is going to pit this time. He can't give up too much time staying on the racetrack right now. That's what happened back at Lowe's Motor Speedway. He stayed out a little too long, and Travis Quaffle pulled just far enough ahead that Edwards couldn't get it down under 1.5 seconds at the end of that race, and fell as far back as 4 seconds because of the lap traffic. Lap traffic has been paying no favors here tonight. And Carl Edwards is going to come to pit road a lap after Quaffle. That might be enough for Quaffle to win the race. Off pit road. No adjustments, 4 fresh tires, and a full tank of fuel. Final pit stop of the day for Carl Edwards. The right front tire was just getting into the red a lap ago as well. And the rubber. Not really any damage. 99 stayed out of trouble today. And this pit crew cannot make any mistakes. No mistakes on the right side. Now over to the lefts. They had a clean first stop. And it's going to be a clean second stop for Carl Edwards as well. And that's Super Chip's Ford Tundra. Ford F-150. The Tundra is Toyota. 56 truck is in the lead. There goes Bobby Hamilton Sr. to cycle ahead of Carl Edwards. I believe the top 2 still have to pit. No, never mind. Wow, what a stop by Quaffle. What a pit stop by Travis Quaffle and his crew. He is actually in the lead. Bobby Hamilton Sr., who short pitted, is up to second. Carl Edwards and that crew did not make a mistake. Quaffle did pit 1 lap earlier, so you would expect him to gap maybe a second at the most on Edwards, because Edwards' pit road entry was really good too, and exit. Edwards didn't make a mistake at all. but he's 3.5 seconds off the lead after the cycling stops. And we don't have many laps left for him to run down Travis Quaffle to the finish. Edwards going to have to need this lap traffic to not cost him like they did at both Lowe's Motor Speedway and Dover in the last 2 races. They've already cost him a little bit tonight. He had a second lead and then it evaporated. And Quaffle was able to take the lead before those stops. Great call though by Quaffle and his crew to hit pit road when they did. A lap before Edwards. .152 truck of Bob Spear is a lap down. Hamilton just got around him easily. Edwards really hoping he can do the same. He's got a lot of grip in this race truck early in the run. 41 laps to go, so there is still time. And actually, I think the slow truck in the 86 slowed down Quaffle because now Quaffle's only just over 2 seconds ahead of Edwards. And he is holding him up down the backstretch now. 3 wide underneath Bobby Hamilton. Senior 86 is there. Edwards about slid into him, but he does get to second. And Bobby Hamilton, poor break there for him as he got stuck behind the 86. 40 to go. Edwards is to second, 2.7 off the lead. Overall, he gained about half a second. He didn't lose as much time as Quaffle did to that 86. Jack Baker in the 178. Running a little bit higher. He's given up plenty of room on the bottom for Edwards to get underneath him. So he is going to let Edwards try to race it out. He knows he's in second. And Carl's got a fast truck. Let's see if he can catch the leader. Two and a half seconds behind Quaffle. We'll alternate through the different camera angles here in this one. At this point in the race. Oh, Edwards couldn't have hooked that bottom more beautifully getting into turns 1 and 2 that time. And he gained a 1/10 of a second in that corner alone. He is hustling. Just in case the lap traffic does not pay him any favors here late. They haven't so far today. Except for that last truck that he just passed. There were a couple of trucks earlier that didn't really race Edwards at all, but we're late in this race. You can't really expect that out of everybody, especially if they're trying to stay on the lead lap, though Edwards being at second. This is honestly about as similar of a run to the finish as what Lowe's Motor Speedway was. The only difference is that race had 1 caution very early on lap 2. This one hasn't had one yet. And this race is an extra 50 miles compared to a race at Lowe's Motor Speedway, now known as Charlotte. It was a 200-mile race. This is 250. Same 2 drivers, same predicament. Quaffle just had a faster stop. Now, he did pit a lot sooner at Lowe's Motor Speedway to get his 4-second lead at one point. Quaffle's coming from 3.5 back, so maybe that extra half second is a possible difference. I don't know. Might need the 86 truck to get in the way of Quaffle a couple more times. They will catch him at least a few more times today, so it is very well possible. Though it could cost Edwards too. It has costed Edwards probably about as much as it's costed Quaffle. It costed Quaffle more in the first half of the race, and it seems like it's costed Edwards more in the second half. Slides the tires into 1 and 2. Can't save the tires now. You got to go, especially if you're Edwards. Just got to stay on the attack and just keep chipping away at that race lead. These guys are on basically even tires. Again, Quaffle only pitted a lap before. And this year at Texas Motor Speedway. The tires don't wear out a whole lot. Kind of much like they would now at Texas. A lot more banking in turns 1 and 2 on this one. Race leader's been tough to pass all day long, barring a major mistake, though. Edwards in line right behind the 192 truck. Trying to get underneath him. There's a slight bit of contact off turn 4. I mean, very, very slight. Edwards trying to hold low still. He does clear the 192 off the exit of the corner. Edwards looks low into turn 3, 3 wide, underneath of Richards in the 106. And the 86 truck was all the way on the outside. I thought Richards was going to pitch Edwards off there for a second. He just didn't. There's no more lap trucks between the top two, and only 1.3 seconds is now the difference. As again, Quaffle, very small gain there by Edwards, but enough that it is a gain nonetheless. And it's because of, again, of the 86 truck. Yes, I do plan on there being a sports car challenge video tomorrow. Throwing that out there. I definitely didn't forget. I just didn't have time to record a video last week. But I did mention that it was going to be coming up again this Monday. Mentioned it a few days ago at least. Quaffle does have another lap truck. A couple truck lengths ahead of him. 1.2 seconds. There's a little dirty air. 29 laps to go. Edwards again slides the tires a little bit into 1 and 2. I think Edwards is a little better in 3 and 4. And Quaffle is a little bit better in turns 1 and 2 is what it seems like. Now Edwards did slide the tires a tiny bit that time into the corner. We'll see. Quaffle kind of being a little patient with that lap truck ahead of him. I don't think Edwards can really push this race truck any harder than what he's pushing it right now. And he's so even with Quaffle. I mean, maybe a tenth of a second faster here and there on a lap, but they're pretty even with one another. One lap truck in between the top two again. 1.2 seconds seemingly is about the difference. Maybe 1.1 now. Edwards might have been a little bit quicker that last lap, but Quaffle did have to pass that lap truck into 1 and 2. Edwards trying to hook that white line. Maybe overdrove the corner a little bit. He's pretty even with Quaffle still in 1 and 2. "25 laps to go this time. They'll catch the 86 at least 2 more times, maybe 3 before the end of the race. I think that's going to be the bigger difference here. And Edwards, when he gets to this next lap truck, needs to just hope that he either lets him by or Edwards gets around him quick. He cannot get pinched off like he has with other lap trucks today. And wants to let this race play clean. He does not want to see a caution unless he absolutely needs one in the last couple laps. But he wants to see this run green so that way these two can settle it themselves. Because Bobby Hamilton Sr. is in 3rd, and he's nowhere near the top 2 right now. Assuming Bobby Hamilton's still in 3rd at least. Again, we don't know 100%. He was last we saw. Edwards got around him early in this final tire stint. Edwards has just caught the lap truck off turn 4. He's only about 8.5 tenths of a second off the lead. And this is not going to be an easy pass either. And the 86 truck is coming up right in front of Quaffle, as well as another lap truck in front of Quaffle. And look at the run Edwards has. Another blown engine on the inside of the racetrack. That's the 192 who's up in smoke. 3 wide pass into turn 3. Look at the ground. Carl Edwards gained down the backstretch. He closed in about a half a second on Travis Quaffle. Quaffle got hung up, not necessarily behind the 86 that time, but the truck behind the 86. He was already in the process of trying to get around. Edwards slides into 1 and 2, and we're going to have a barn burner to the finish here at Texas, folks. We'll be coming to 21 laps to go this time. Quaffle leads with Edwards in second. Quaffle's led the most laps today. Travis trying to go for 3 wins in a row. Edwards looking for his second win of the young season. These two have been the 2 dominant ones so far this year, especially in recent weeks. Edwards slides into 1 and 2. Definitely couldn't make the move on Quaffle that time. A little too loose on entry. He did get off the corner a little bit better, though. Looks low. Quaffle trying to block. Edwards, he was going to arc the corner off, but he got way too tight on entry. And 20 to go at the line for Quaffle. Can he hold on to win it? And will these two settle between themselves? Lap traffic become a factor again. Edwards looks low, down the backstretch. Look at how much of a block Quaffle threw on him. Edwards trying to turn the truck back up to the outside. He about put it in the wall. Quaffle doing everything he can to get 3 in a row. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. Just in time to see a good finish. $18 to go this time. Quaffle's going to be very tough to pass here. Edwards ran him down, but it was mainly because of lap traffic. These two are so even. It's going to be tough for Edwards to get that run and actually get underneath. He's not going to be able to pass Quaffle on the outside likely, unless a lap truck gets in the way. The only way he's going to pass him up there. Quaffle knows to have to block the bottom. Oh, Quaffle got loose. Edwards ran into the back of him. He had nowhere to go. Quaffle gaps him by a couple truck lengths at the line. 17 to go. Moves a little loose into turn 3. He's loose off the exit of 4 too. Tires are starting to wear out on Carl Edwards' race truck. Just 15 laps to decide the winner. Right now, these guys are catching up to more lap trucks. Edwards a little wide in 3 and 4. It's not close enough to help intimidate. Now the 86 truck is actually the next lap truck in front of the top 2. Quaffle's likely going to get held up at least a little bit here. 14 to go into turn 1. Travis needs to make a quick pass on him. There's other lap trucks getting held up. Well, this is going to be a mess off turn 2. Huge mess. Edwards to the inside for the lead. He's got it. Oh, maybe. Quaffle 3 wide. He's holding on the 99. Trying to side draft him into the corner. Edwards goes wide. Crossover by the 24. A block, and Edwards uses the lap trucks to get to the lead. Barely clears him. This isn't over yet. Robbie Young in the 137 stays high. He's going to let the leaders race. Smart move. Edwards clears him easily off turn 2. Quaffle has to wait an extra corner. Allows Edwards to gap Quaffle by about a truck length. Now can Edwards hold on to win this race? With the attack now coming from the 24. Edwards can't make another mistake here. They might catch... I think they're going to catch the 86 one more time before the end of this race. They should catch him one more time. That is probably going to be the curtain call to the finish of this race. Unless they both get through him easily. It seems like one or the other tends to struggle to get around him. Quaffle's going to get underneath Edwards. He's going to have to be getting into a corner. It seems like Carl gets a better drive off. There's another lap truck, though, of Benny Allen in the 110. Not too far ahead of Edwards. Actually, Quaffle got off of turn 2 a lot better than Edwards that time. Might be what he needs into turn 3. But Edwards hits his marks. 10 laps to go, this time by Texas. Benny Allen is a lap truck that could be a difference maker here with 10 to go. Edwards going to try to put Allen a lap down. Into turn 1. Allen runs the bottom. He's not really letting the leaders race. Edwards slides the tires in the center of the corner. Not enough to wash wide and let the 24 underneath him, though. And Benny Allen is not making this easy for Carl Edwards. This is exactly what happened at Dover late in the race. Edwards was battling. Quaffle had the lead late, and a lap truck took him out of a chance to win it. He can't allow that to happen again this week, especially with a crash. We've been caution-free so far today. Edwards all the way downstairs, off turn 2. To the inside of Benny Allen. He's underneath him, into turn 3. Allen trying to crowd him a little bit. And now that Edwards clears him off 4, Allen should be out of the way as Edwards drifts up the track. Looks like Quaffle will get to the inside of Benny Allen next. No, not even. Now he does in 1 and 2. It took him an extra corner. Well, these guys catch another lap truck again. I think they'll catch the 86, and actually Allen just got in the wall off turn 2, allowing Quaffle to make the clearance on the exit of the corner. We'll have 7 laps to go this time by for Carl Edwards. Will he get his second win of the year, or will Quaffle win 3 in a row and get his 3rd win of the young season? Either way, what a start to the season both these two have had. Head and shoulders ahead of the rest of the field early. Edwards pulled away just a slight bit off turn 2. He's got about a 2 truck length lead into 3. Quaffle got into 3 a little bit better. Trying to get a run off the exit of the corner. Went a little wider than Edwards. Both drivers driving their trucks really, really well right now. A lot lower exit to the corner there for Quaffle that time versus Edwards. Edwards trying to block down the backstretch. Low into turn 3 goes Quaffle. He hooked that white line. Surprised he actually stuck the corner as well as he did despite how deep he drove it in. All 4 tires in the yellow. 5 laps to go for Edwards. And they're closing in on the 86 for the final time. There's a couple more lap trucks in front as well. This is going to get interesting going into turns 3 and 4. Oh, they're braking right in front of Edwards. Edwards gets down low. He slides up the track. Barely keeps it off of him. Quaffle's right there. It costed Edwards a little bit of time. Quaffle's got to run 4 to go, but they both get on by. Here comes Travis. Into turn 1. No more lap trucks. It's one-on-one to the finish. And Quaffle goes a little wide on the high side in turns 1 and 2. Edwards gaps him a little bit off the exit of 2, and Quaffle almost put it in the wall. Oh, Edwards overdrove it. Into 3 and 4. Quaffle gets him right back. 3 laps to go. Can Edwards hang on? Nothing but pressure from behind him from the 24. It's a 2-truck race. That's it. Saw a close finish in the Busch Series race at Texas, and we're shaping up for one here today in the truck race. 2 to go this time for Carl Edwards. Not going to make a mistake that lap. Can he put together 2 more perfect laps? And even if he does put together 2 perfect laps, can Quaffle still get to the inside of him? Edwards slides the tires a little bit into 1 and 2. Pressure from behind. Quaffle looking low. Quaffle got tight. He couldn't stay in the gas. He had to get out of it. Quaffle still looks low into turn 3. Huge dive bomb to the bottom there by Edwards. Really arced the corner a lot better than Quaffle. Quaffle loses a little bit of ground in the center, trying to get a run off the high side off of 4. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Will it be Edwards or will it be Quaffle back to the checker flag? Quaffle still trying to run high in 1 and 2. Is he trying to set him up maybe and get a run down the backstretch so he can make a pass in the final corner? Or is he too far back? It's never over till it's over. Edwards hooks the bottom beautifully in 3 and 4. Quaffle lost a little bit too much ground in 1 and 2. He's not going to get him. Carl Edwards wins his 2nd race of the season in a nail-biter finish at Texas. What a win by Carl Edwards, matching Quaffle with 2 wins on the year now. Great race. Caution-free, no cautions. And despite no cautions in a 250-mile race, they still finished nose to tail. You couldn't have asked for a better night of racing. After starting last in this race, what a charge for Edwards. It's going to be close to see who led the most laps. I think Quaffle led the most. Because he led a lot early in the race before Edwards. Edwards didn't even get to the lead until after lap 50. What a burnout there for Cousin Carl. And he'll do his virtual backflip here at the Texas Motor Speedway. We'll take a look at the finishing results. Wow, what a charge by Lester. He was running like 20th early in the race. He charges to finish 3rd. He's been great on the 1.5 miles, so no surprise for him to end up with a 3rd place run. And Quaffle did lead the most laps today. He led 79, which means Edwards only scores 5 points more than Travis Quaffle today, and it was because of the win. Otherwise, Quaffle would have taken the points lead if he won. Instead of taking the points lead, he drops 5. Edwards has a 15-point lead after 7 races into the season. Again, still early. Bill Lester, as mentioned, finishes 3rd. Did not lead a lap. Bobby Hamilton Sr. started 2nd. He led 8 laps, so 5 bonus points and a 4th place finish for him. Aaron McGee also led laps in the race. We saw him lead a couple times. Finished 5th. Chad Chafin 6th. Cook 7th. Ryan Carter 8th. Jason Powell 9th. And Jack Sprague rounds out the top 10. And we had 14 drivers finish on the lead lap today. No cautions for the first time ever on the channel for NASCAR 05 in the Truck Series. And we saw Brandon Witt DNF early with an engine failure. Matt Crafton had an engine failure in the race as well. So did Bradley and Sweeney. So 4 drivers failed to finish today's race. Brandon Witt led early, and Bradley also led a lap. That was a great race. Clean, fast race pace, and just a good overall race. It's what you want as a traditional race fan. Caution-free and to have that close of action. Again, couldn't ask for better racing. Next race will be at the I almost said Tiburon. At the Dodge Raceway. For the Dodge Performance 250. 250 laps around a 3/8 mile short track. You know when that race is coming? That race is coming tomorrow night on the channel. So we'll be racing at Dodge Raceway for the Truck Series tomorrow. Should be a fun show. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I will see you guys in the next live stream. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard start time for that one tomorrow. Hopefully you guys tune in. And yeah, I will see you guys for that one. Have a good rest of your night. And I'll catch you next time.